Hello and welcome back to Listening Heart Podcast. I am Lady B, and joining with me today is AJ, my husband.
Hi, everybody.
We will be talking about how important it is to focus before you act on situations in your marriage, especially when those situations are major or possibly negative situations.
Yeah, and you're going to find, in my opinion, since I've been married, is that my negative situations always seem to be surrounded by money. Okay, money, I think they said, is like one of the highest issues of being divorced is because of money, or maybe lack thereof. And it could be sometimes it could be too much money that people get silly when they get a lot of money. You've heard of a lot of millionaires going broke in 1 month or whatever. So money doesn't solve your problem. You have to make a conscious effort to stay married through good times, bad times, mediocre times.
And I don't believe it's all to do with money either. You know, sometimes it could be a lack of money, and sometimes not, because you know you have rich people that have their problems is just bigger than our problems. You know, so money, yes, money will make you happy as far as paying your bills and taking care of the things that you need to take care of in life, but it's not going to it'll make you happy, but it don't determine if your marriage is going to be healthy and successful, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and also you got kids that play into the mix, and then you have other relatives that play into the mix that will cause stress in a marriage if you let it. We've taken the route of not giving everybody any information about whatever it is we're going through, whether we need something. We've lost a lot of things because we've kept it to ourselves and tried to be self-sufficient in providing for ourselves and our kids and everything. I believe your kids watch you grow that way, then they'll know how to handle life when it comes at them in a negative way. If you use a positive reinforcement technique to get out, and usually that's within the Bible, you know, that you have ways to get out of any situation that's been put before you, because God won't put anything that no man has never been through already, and if he does, he provides a way out. So you have to believe that no matter what you're confronted with in your marriage, and it seems dark, before you sign divorce papers, understand that there is a way out if you both try to get out of it in a situation where you gotta both want that marriage to endure.
Yes, because of marriage, you know, it's teamwork. Marriage, you know, it takes a lot of work. That's why we have to have the right mindset when we go to make decisions and act on things. You know, because we can sometimes dwell too much on the negative things that are going on in our marriages and lives. You know, it takes both the husband and the wife to come together and work together, you know, in order to build that strong foundation for the relationship. You know, it's going to take both. You know, you're going to have to put God in front of it, and you're going to have to, you know, use your faith, you know, because it's a lot of work.
Yep, and there's going to be a lot of issues that might come in with your marriage that causes it from past relationships, past marriages, if you've been married before, if you have kids from that marriage, or that I guess I want to call it blended family, when you have these two separate families that blend as one. young. When they're young, maybe it's not such a big problem, but as they grow, it gets to a point where they become teenagers, and one might want to say, that's not my father, that's not my mother, whatever the case may be. Blended families, I think, are very, very hard to keep together without Christ in it, and without love and a person genuinely, because you got to look at the fact that this kid may be missing that one side of the family that they haven't seen before. They may not even know him. So blended families have to work very, very hard on staying together, I think. And even those.
Now, you were in a blended family, right?
Yes, I was.
And how was that with you?
Well, I had what you want to call step, meaning that my biological mom wasn't around, but I had my father remarried, and I had no brothers other than my half brothers, because my father had other kids, so therefore they were my half brothers. So I had half brothers, two half brothers, one passed, and then one half sister, and then a step brother. So, and that was tough coming up, being a teenager, because I really didn't want to listen, and so she took me in. I grew from it. She didn't have to do it. Now that I think about it, what she did was grace, okay, because she didn't have to do that. And people got to learn that the only way you got to have a kind heart to take on somebody else's responsibility, especially at a teenager's age, because in a teenager, I should have respected my stepmother more, because she didn't have to do what she did. And if she hadn't did what she did, I wouldn't be where I am today, because my mother wasn't fit to raise anybody, because she had certain addictions and everything. So just be careful that you don't prejudge people for being your step or your half or whatever you want to call it, stepfather, stepmother, or whatever. They're your mother. They're raising you. They're spending their time, their money. They're feeding you. They're providing roofs over your head, and you need to show them a certain level of respect. And that's from the Bible. Also, it tells you should be, I guess, honor your mother and father. Now, there was no steps in there, but basically, that's pretty much what it is, whether it's a step or not. You honor them as being your parent. You're living with them. They're providing for you. And you should keep the peace where all possible. This, especially with teenagers.
Yes, and sometimes it don't always, work out like that. They don't always get the appreciation that they deserve to get as, the step parent. And, because you feel like, well, I was raised with a step parent as well. Mm-hmm. And it's just, to me, it's not the same as being raised with your biological parents. It's just, it's different.
It's tough.
It's different.
It's kind of tough.
It just depends on the person, to me. The
step parent?
The step parent. It depends on the step parent. How much
they want to put into it.
They want to put into it, And it's going to, and that's going to determine the relationship between the two.
Let me ask you a question. Do you say that that's natural to have animosity a little bit, for that teenager to have animosity against the stepfather, stepmother, one or the other? To have, animosity, feel like they're treating, if they had other kids, with that person. Now you got a half sister, okay, but a different father. Is that a natural thing?
Well, now that I'm older, You know, I see things differently.
How did you see it then?
Then, when I was a teenager, being raised in the home by, you know, my stepfather, I didn't really look at him as my father, probably because I didn't feel that way. He didn't make me feel like that.
But your father was still around. He
My
just
father
wasn't
was
taking care of you.
around. He just wasn't living with us. He did make himself present.
But he wasn't providing for you like your stepfather, right? Or would
It
you
was
say
a difference. It was a difference. There was always issues with me and my stepfather, but when it came to my biological father, you know, we got along. You know, I couldn't do nothing wrong in his eyesight. You know, maybe because he wasn't there, he always wanted to spoil us and give us, you know, the best when we was around him. But in the home, there was always issues
with the stepfather?
with the stepfather. You know, if it wasn't with my mom, it was with the stepdaughters. So.
But you weren't the only one. You had other sisters.
Yes, I had other sisters
that had to experience the same thing.
Exactly.
They may have taken to him differently than you, but they all of y'all went through the same thing. So basically, to make it short, that blended families are work. That's a work. It takes God's grace to make it through there.
Yeah, blended families is a lot of work. Just like marriage is a lot of work, and that's why we have to work together. You know, as a married couple. You know, to build that, and we have to trust God and have faith. You know, in the Word of God. You know, to lead us and guide us. You know, on the right paths. You know, that we should take in our marriages. You know, because sometimes when we don't have the right mindset, we focus on the negative things, you know, and we let our emotions sometimes get in the way as well. And then we tend to sometimes make the wrong decisions and the wrong choices. You know, God, you know, he just expects us to have that right mindset, because it's crucial in our marriage. When we don't, he expects us to set our minds on the things, you know, above.
But when
the
you're young,
heavenly things.
When you're young, you don't know that.
We should have the mindset of Christ.
I understand that, but when you're a teenager, you're not thinking that way, and even when you're young and married, you're not thinking that way. So the thing is, you have to, if you were brought up in a church. If you know something or introduced to Jesus at a younger age, you know where to go. It's just a matter of when you, my wife said, in your right mind, that's when you find, I guess, peace. Even to this day, I feel like my girl,
you're going to find peace when you put God in front of that marriage.
Yeah.
God is the one that gives us peace.
Yeah.
That surpasses all understanding.
Yeah.
So you'll find that peace with God, you know, when you're trusting him, putting him before that marriage.
Well, you got to understand the next generation, which would be my daughters and their kids, and them being able to pass on some of the things that we've taught them in how to handle life without in a positive way, even though negative things come their way, to come out positive on the positive side of it. Okay, they got a lot. All my kids got a lot of experience doing that because of what I was doing when I was younger and they were young kids. So there's things to be said for kids going through tough times and watching their parents and how they adjust to certain situations. Somebody losing their job, somebody changing jobs or somebody working for themselves when you're used to a 40-hour job or whatever. You tend the life daily. There are changes and adjustments have to be made. So you have to be all in for it. Either you're gonna give it a chance to work or not to make that marriage work. You can't just say I'm out if you do this, that, and the other thing.
Right, you have to be willing to put the work in. You have to be willing to work as a team, because you're going to encounter things, situations, and circumstances in your marriage. We're going to all encounter these things, and we have to be willing to, put the work in, to build that strong foundation to have that healthy and successful marriage. Yeah.
And with all of that, what you have to do is also stay connected to your your children even when they get older, with your grandkids and everything, and let them see that the family is a strong unit. You all want to be there for them. It's not going to always be happy times. You're going to go through different things with the family, but always put your family first, and then you have
it's going to be the family, the kids, the job,
everything. It's all gonna be mixed
the bills.
in the pot. But you gotta be able to come through all of that and understand what I've learned, and I'll be honest about it, is nobody gets out of this place alive. Okay, so therefore, why am I worried about what I'm wearing? If I got a $2,000 pair of shoes on some red bottoms, or if I got a TJ, the cheaper stores brand. I got something on, is nice looking, and when you start putting price tags on things, as a price tag is your happiness, that becomes your idol. And the Bible warns you that mammon is a spirit of money. So you're worshiping idols, like whether it's clothing or even a person. It's okay for you to worship your wife, your husband. And when I say worship, I mean respect them and have reverence for them, but not to the point where it's you put that before your relationship, your spirituality with Christ and knowing God and Jesus.
Right. Well, God, He don't want us putting anything before Him. He wants us to put Him in every aspect of our life.
We put Him first. I think He wants to be first.
He wants to be first, and He wants to be in every decision that we make. And just in everything that we do, he wants to be a part of it. That's why I believe. That's why he dwells in us. He lives in us. We take him wherever we go. So, he's always with us.
But so what if you fall off the bus one time and say, for instance, you do something wrong? That don't mean, God ain't gonna love me no more. This, that, and other thing. No. He's as many times as you fall off, He go come get you if you allow it. If you ask for forgiveness, He will forgive you. As forgotten as far as the east is to the west. So don't feel like you got to check a box. I can't, or can't be this. You can't do that. You can't wear a bathing suit. You can't wear short skirts, lipstick. You can't drink a beer. Whatever the case, I'm not telling you what to do with that. You have to talk to God about that. But you don't want to get into bondage with that, meaning following a set of rules that man created to keep you in their bondage type of system, because man is a liar. Okay.
And whatever we're doing in life, or whatever we choose to do, whatever we're doing,
it's a choice.
Whether it's right or wrong, we're gonna need God to fix the problem anyway. So if you're feeling guilty about something that you're doing and you don't know if God likes it or not,
talk to God.
You just need to talk to God about it, and He'll let you know.
Not your neighbor.
He'll let you know. how he feels about it.
You can discuss it if you want with your mom or whoever, your dad, whatever. But the point is, they can't solve your problem. Only God can solve your problems.
Right.
And that's who you should be. Don't make him your last choice.
Because
he should be your first choice.
Right. Because if we could solve them, then that's why God sent Jesus, because we couldn't, fix our issues and our problems, so that we need Jesus. So if we could fix it, then we wouldn't need Jesus. So, if we can't judge anybody, for doing something that we don't think is right.
And you can't earn.
They have to take that to God.
You can't earn a perfect marriage. Okay, you just got to put the work in. Okay,
right.
And then that will happen along the way.
Right.
That's what it all boils down to. You got to want to be
willing. You got to be willing to do it
and wanting to have a long
life journey.
And if it for some reason it doesn't work out, or you got some knucklehead trying to put their hands on you, or which I feel is not very attractive in a marriage, for a man to be beating on a woman, or a woman even to be beating on a man, I wouldn't tell you to stay in a dangerous situation. I would talk to someone about.
I don't think God expects anyone to stay in
that type
situation
of predicament
like that.
But if you are seeking God together, sooner or later you're going to get on the same page, and you go walk this thing out, okay? And then till it says in the marriage vows, death do you part.
Right, and that's why it's crucial to have God first in your marriage, and work together as a team. That's crucial in a marriage. You have to work together as a team, because the wedding day, it is a special day, a day that will always be remembered. It's a day of joy, a day of happiness. But when that day is over, that's when the work begins. That's when it starts. It's a long life journey and commitment, and we have to be willing to put whatever work we need to put in it. A marriage is built off of trust, respect, unconditional love, things of that nature.
But wouldn't you say that that's kind of hard when you got all these internal voices? Some could be negative and sending you in the wrong direction. You have to tune that stuff out. You got to listen to those internal voices that are of God's thoughts and of things of the higher level of living.
And that's why it's important to have a positive mindset, the mindset of Christ.
It's not about the things that you can get from a person. It's that person in itself. Are they compatible with me to go through this life of marriage and be able to coexist, not being dominant, not being, belligerent, and not being intimidating on someone's other wishes or their wishes. You want to go through it together, or try to work out something where you can go to the next day. Now, I ain't gonna say this thing about you never want to go to bed mad and all of that. I've went to bed mad a lot of times. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not good. Yes, we have went to bed mad a lot of times, but it's not good. I think you need to solve the issue before you go to bed, because tomorrow is not always promised.
You get a fresh 24.
Tomorrow is not always promised, So, a marriage, it just requires, putting the effort and determination in. And because a marriage cannot just be built off of just the intimacy and the attraction, the appearance of a person. It's going to take more than that, because one day we get older, and things may not appear as they appear when you first met.
Say that hourglass.
So we can't just base it off of intimacy and your appearance.
And furthermore, with that, don't go to bed mad. Even if you do go to bed mad, just get up and start over again. Try it again. You're not perfect. The only one man that walked this earth perfect, that was Jesus. Okay? So don't try to do what he can't do. If you have to go to bed and be quiet till you can get your wits about it and have the right words to say. Well, let me say this. Why would you stay up and try to make something happen? And then so I follow the rule of not going to bed mad. When one person ain't listening, the other one study talking. So you're going to be up all night. So just go to bed if you can't work it out, and then start over. And that sometimes you got to separate, one on the couch or whatever.
I sometimes it do work out like that, but I don't agree with it because
I do.
I think it should be resolved before you go to bed. And
But
sometimes I know you can't.
Right.
There's situations where it just can't be resolved in one night. So I do understand that, but it's just to me, it's not healthy going to bed, and mad with each other. I think a couple needs to try to work it out at least before they go to bed. To me, you have to love each other, for better, for worse.
Well, the next generation, my grandkids is watching their parents, and my kids are watching me and my wife, and we have to be examples of what marriage is if we expect to carry on and proliferate the earth with Christians and to be a positive influence in this world. I don't never want any of my grandkids to feel like they can't come to me or can't ask me anything, or I can't, or my kids too. Now, they may they're gonna grow out away from you and don't want you in their business, and that's fine. But I'm always there if they want to talk. And all I'm gonna do is lead them to the Bible and tell them to go seek your answers there, because man go give you his way of doing things. It's in no way the same level that a God would handle it. Actually, God will handle it quite opposite of what man does. Okay? So just know that you can't earn a marriage. You can't check any boxes for it. Get the house, get the kids, get the two kids and a dog, or 2 and a third kid, or whatever, and then the 2-car garage and the 3-car garage, and then the mansion, and all. You got some preachers out there preaching about mansions, this a prosperity type of thing. All of that's gonna rust away, okay? But your marriage, a good marriage, you'll have more fun than you will in a big mansion by yourself, in a 1-bedroom apartment or whatever. Long as y'all got love, y'all can do what you want to do with each other. Because, I mean, the worst thing in the world is being lonely.
Yes. And a marriage, to me, it's worth the work. It can be rewarding when we choose to set our minds on the things, of God and not the things of this world. To me, marriage is a gift from God. And when we look at it like that, it can be rewarding in many ways. It provides each other with emotional support. You can provide each other with that support and companionship. You can grow together, celebrate together, share life experiences.
But don't let money be the end all and be all to your marriage. You can always get other work, another job. You can always get another place to live, or you can always get another car to drive. But you can't always get that one person who you said I do to, and they said I do to you. So just always put that person first in your marriage that you promised the rest of your life to. And you may fall off, you may do some bad things, but just know that you, as long as you still got breath in your body, you can make it right. Okay.
So, I just feel, we just need to trust God and have faith in His Word and not allow, our emotions to take over when we are in, those stressful situations, and just learn how to manage and control our emotions, by shifting our focus to the positive side of situations instead of the negative, to have that healthy and successful marriage. And I believe a person can do that, if they're trusting God. We go out every day, we get in our cars, and we trust when we're driving, we trust the other cars, the other drivers to stop when they need to.
Do the right thing.
If we can get in our cars and trust other drivers to stop when they need to stop and not run into us, if we got that much trust in them, we can have that same trust with God and His Word, or more.
All right. Well, I think we better wrap it up. We don't want to keep rehashing what we said, but basically this was a talk about marriage and endurance, I believe, and emotional stress that can be coming from a lot of different angles, from your parents, from the kids, from outside forces, friends. All of that has its place in your life. I get that. But don't let it interrupt your marriage. And then sometimes you have to put everything on the back burner and put your marriage on the front burner to maintain it. Because if you don't put a focus on that to make sure that it's right with God, then you can end up losing it. And what's to say that you're going to ever get that back? That one good thing. There was something that you did when you got married that attracted you to it, and it wasn't just the good looks. There was something inside that person, okay? There were some thoughts that you felt that she could or he could be the one who you would want to spend the rest of your life with, and you got to rediscover that sometimes.
Yes, yes, we must be aware of the schemes of the devil and the negative distractions that the devil tried to bring in our marriages. We have to be aware of those distractions and those negative situations and circumstances. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up here. And
this is AJ saying goodbye.
Yes, and this is Lady B, and we'll see you on the next episode. And you have a great and amazing day, and thank you for tuning in with us today. And please subscribe on YouTube at listeningheartpodcast.com and visit our website at listeningheartpodcast.com.
All right. See ya.
Yeah, thank you.